All right, so we're going to go ahead and do our problem set on lesson 20. And what we're going to do is what we did like the day before. We are going to set up our division problem. Oh, I'll come over here, look at letter A, sorry. We will set up our division problem. We're going to divide it. We are going to keep our remainder, so we do want to have that remainder. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be able to check our work. Because when we get to some word problems on the back side, they're going to basically give us this and our divisor, and we have to figure out our dividend. And once you know this and this stuff, you can figure out that missing number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this up. So I've got 49 divided by 21. And the nice part of this, guys, it's kind of a luxury, is you write it exactly how you see it. 49 divided by 21. So when I'm kind of thinking about this, when I see this, I'm going to kind of in my head mentally round this and say, okay, well, I've got 21 is close to 20. So if I kind of think about it, when I'm counting by 20s, I've got 20, 40, 60. Well, I know it's not going to be 60. It's not going to be 60, so it won't go in 3 times, but it's going to go in 49 2 times. So then what I have to do is I need to do 21 times 2. And if you guys need scratch paper to be able to solve it, I would definitely do that. This one's pretty simple where I can do 2 times 1 is 2, and then 2 times 2 is 4. So I know that 21 times 2 is 42. I'm going to go ahead and subtract it. 49 minus 42, or 9 minus 2, is going to be 7. So my remainder is going to be 7. So then from what I know to check it, I'm going to take my quotient and I'm going to multiply it by that divisor. So I'm going to do 2 times 21. That's going to give me 42. And then I'm going to take that answer and I'm going to add my remainder, which is 7, and that should equal 49. All right, so we're going to come over here and we're going to do 78 divided by 39. And again, I'm going to think of 39 as 40. So when I count by 40s, I go 40, 80. Well, okay, 80 is too high. So I know it's not going to go in 2 times, it's going to only go in 1 time. And what I could actually do, guys, is off to the side, I could go ahead and write that out. And see, I've got 40, 80. Well, 80 is going to be too big, so it can only go in 1 time. So 1 times 39 is 39. And then I want to go ahead and subtract that, or regroup this, because I can't do 8 minus 1. So 7 turns into a 6. I've got 18. 18 minus 9 is going to be 9. And then 6 minus 3 is going to be 3. But guys, take a look at this. What is that going to tell you? If this answer is equal to that, what would I possibly be able to do? I could possibly put it in 2 times. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to 78 divided by 39. Okay, so now I know it actually goes in 2 times, because guys, if I do 39 times 2, 9 times 2 is 18, carry my 1, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 78, subtract 78, my remainder is 0. And because I did this problem right here, I don't need to go ahead and put 39 times 2. This is a perfect example. You always want to make sure that remainder cannot be equal to or greater than this divisor. Has to be less than, okay? So we're going to come over here and we're going to do 84 divided by 32. Okay, so I can kind of round that to 30. So I'm going to do 30, 60, 90. Okay, well, if I look here at this, 90 is going to be too big. 60, we could probably try that. Just know that when you are doing this kind of estimation in your head, you might have to go back and do this like we did on letter C, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be times 2. So let's go ahead and do 32 times 2. That's something pretty simple that I can do. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. And I'm already kind of looking at this. It's going to be less than 32, so I know that that is correct, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and check my work. 32 times 2 is going to equal 64. 64 plus 20 is going to equal 84, so it checks, okay? Moving on to this one, I'm going to do 77 divided by 25. Now, for me, I know that I'm not going to round that to 30, because when I'm thinking about 25, I'm basically counting quarters. So I can count by 25s. It goes 25, 50, 75, 100. Okay? So when I look here, because I'm not rounding, I know that I can look pretty close. Well, I know that 77 is going to be less than 75, so that one would work. 100 would not because it's greater. So I'm going to do this times 3. I know that 25 times 3 is 75. 7 minus 5 is 2. My remainder is 2. So if I come over here, I do 25 times 3, that equals 75. 75 plus 2 equals 77. That works. Okay, coming over here, let's do 68 divided by 17. Well, I'm going to round that 17 up to 20, so I'm going to do 20, 40, 60, 80, okay? So I see that 60 is right there. Now, what you could do, like what we did up here and just did the problem, we could do that. But what you could do is on a scratch piece of paper, you could kind of check, well, let me see, what is 17 times 3? Because I'm going to tell you guys, sometimes when you do this, if you choose this answer, sometimes it would be too much and you would have to go down anyway. So you might always want to have that scratch piece of paper just to kind of help you. But this is a really good starting point to know, well, this is what I'm going to multiply this by. So I know that 7 times 3 is 21. I'm going to regroup my 2. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 more is 51. Okay, well, I've got 51, so that one would work. But you know what? Even though that's 80, I really want to try. I'm going to try 17 times 4. Okay, so 7 times 4 is going to give me 28. And then 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 more. Oh my goodness, guys, take a look at that. Okay, if I would have gone off of this and just said, okay, I'm going to do 3, I would have noticed that my remainder was still going to be 17, so I could have done it one more time. I would definitely write out your list to see how many you would possibly multiply it by, but then you want to check, because sometimes, like this one, it worked out, but sometimes like this one, it didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and put 4. I already did my work that 17 times 4 is 68. I'm going to subtract 68 and I get 0. So my remainder is 0. My answer is 4. Now, because I've already done this, I'm not going to make you guys have to rewrite the checking your work, because you technically checked your work right down there.